envelope with a stamp attached to the upper right corner, handed to you by Everett Clare. Inside are some legal documents with 2 names printed on them: Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. Posting
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40-month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum.
Oh, look at the zoning
plan. The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and the square between the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall.
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
It's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall, practically integrating them into the youth center. This is either an ominous or cool architectural choice. Hard to say. My money is on cool. Looks like a cubic pyrite.
Okay, what do you think
of this? I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not a perfect solution, but...
He shrugs.
How else are you going to build something? It's always inconvenient to build things, and citizens inevitably have disagreements over such construction projects. But there's no other way.
For the documents away for a second, because I want to see if I can put on logic, and I also don't want to... I feel like doing this, like, in the room with him is... I just... Something is telling me I shouldn't do that. I have a bunch of plus logic stuff. Look at that. Oh, look at this. Look at this artwork of a man right now. Just... Oh, no. No, this set's better. This set's better. Thank God. Thank God. Okay. Let's do this not in the room with him. Because it feels like it's going to call me out at some point that he saw me rifling through it. Okay. And then we'll talk to Joyce after this.
Out of the envelope.
Okay, let's try this again.
There is no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
Wait, what are the ramifications of
Once
this?
the construction starts, it will probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out.
Look, Kim, point to the photocopy. These people are going to have to move away. Can't we do something about it? I should have seen it. Lieutenant frowns as he reads over the document again.
Probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone.
Put the documents back in the envelope. I do like that it literally shows his people might be watching here. Okay, so we're going to definitely forge that. But I kind of want to see if we can talk to Joyce about it. I feel like she might have something to say. Okay, let's put our good clothes back on. And then start heading that way. Now I want literally any other hat on. Okay. I want to get a cool hat. I felt like I would have found one by now. Do I have a skill point? Okay, I do. And then we have Homosexual Underground is almost there. What do we potentially... Okay, Software Ferret is Spirit Decor from Detective Cousteau, which I like. All intellect white checks plus... Yeah, I feel like Motorway South could actually kind of go. Because the +1 Implant Empire isn't really doing that much. Whereas, like, white checks failing, healing all your morale, like those kind of things. Yeah. I feel like that's fine. Goodbye, Motorway South. Do you have the Dick Mullen hat? No, I gotta go talk to her again. I haven't been able to get her inside. Anti-object pain force. Rigorous self-critique. I'm gonna keep trying the Mamadakwa. But we'll have to come back if we get to try to open the freaking cargo door. Okay, so now... I'm gonna fast travel to the waterfront if it lets me. Does it? How do I fast travel? How do I fast travel? How do I fast travel? I did this before. How do I How do I do this? I did this before. I guess I just can't from here. I could have sworn there's like a go into the map. Wait, do you want to force a signature that lets Everett do it without convincing the Fisher folk, right? Yeah, because he can, yeah, they can just sue and say we literally didn't sell. I don't know why it won't let me fast travel. That's weird. Okay, so next is Joyce. Joyce, we've got a lot of stuff to do past the lock. Yeah, we still have, we've completely, I want to talk to Joyce and then let's go see if the Hardy Boys are still there. And if they're still there, we might do this conversation now, because at this point we know the body, like we know, oh yeah, let's go figure out the brew and that stuff too. Okay, so he doesn't have anything to say about that. We don't need to talk to the scab. Measurehead's not going to have anything to say. Why is this every time? Like, I'm literally going to have to zoom out and see if I can get it to, yeah, select the scab so that it walks me the right way. There's a fast travel? Yeah, there is fast travel on the map. Yeah, see, now it shows up. God damn it. It must be if you're like in certain areas you're not allowed. Okay. Can't do anything there. Yeah, I want to talk to Joyce first. Yeah, what check do I need for Annette? Suggestion. So if we want to do that with Annette, we need to reset suggestion. Yeah, it's if you get the map, which I want to get more money to buy the speakers. I'm glad we got the pale age liquor, but we got to get the speakers because that gets us the shoes. But I want to get the rest of the books. Reading the books has been really fun. I'm going to save here. Hello, Joyce. I finally have my badge.
Good. What can I help you with?
Can you tell me about these tattoos
I fear
again?
I've told you all I know.
That's
Is there
thank you.
anything else
I've been dealing with Everett again. He asked me to deliver an envelope.
Sounds like he has you running errands, Detective. A well-established dominance ritual. Where did he have you deliver it?
To a nameless settlement down the coast nearby.
Ah, yes. I've been meaning to go there.
She looks over the
There's
bay.
a longing. Clear and simple longing. Strange. Why does she want to go there?
He wants to build a youth center here for the children of Martinez. You're quite fond of this village, aren't
I
you?
should be. In my youth, I had a brief dalliance here in Martinez. He was an older man with impossibly broad shoulders.
She nods. There's that crooked smile again.
Probably dead by now. Even his shack is long gone. Not that it matters. These buildings are all carbon copies of one another.
You've been to Martinez before?
Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine.
Huh.
We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. My paramour certainly did not.
Sounds like you missed these
Not
times.
overly so. It's not like this was the only place we visited. Me and my girlfriends from Azon with our shiny boats. Like reavers. We told ourselves we were the worst thing to happen to the coast since the Coalition landed in '08. Imagine.
She tosses her head. If you say so.
I'm over-radiated, Detective. I do silly things sometimes, out of pale-related sickness.
Yeah.
Like take this job. The moral of the story is...
So it was a factor in her coming to Martinez in the first place.
Interesting.
Do not spend 22 days a year in pale transit. Don't waste your 20s slumming it with your stupid friends. And don't deliver Everard Clare's mail.
Her bony finger is pointed like an arrow at your chest.
Satisfied, Detective? What else can you tell me about your mail delivery quest for Everard? Do you think it will improve the place?
She's pointing it quite hard in there. Feels like a knife.
He wants to build a youth center here for the
A
children of
youth
Martinez.
centre with Edgar Clare's statue on top of it.
Her eyes run across the water
Go
remorsefully.
ahead. Help him. Make it so. I have no power to stop him.
So you're sad you can't buy the place?
Yes. I'm sad I'll never have the time, Detective. I've always wanted a dilapidating fishing village.
She is more defensive about it than usual.
Yeah.
Full of ghosts and ancient memories. Has this errand yielded you any information?
I'd rather talk about something else for now. if you
Of
don't
course,
mind.
detective. You can always.
Tell me more
What
about this
would you
boat.
like to know?
No, actually,
Good.
I have a boat thing down. Tell me about Wild
There was
Pines.
a touch of discomfort
Oh.
there. She wants to merely represent.
Fair enough. Tell me
She
something
nods.
else. Tell me
Of
about Strike
course.
Harbor. I'm just checking to see
Of
if there's any
course.
questions.
Don't tell her you've met Everard right away. This time.
Talking
Of
about lynching.
course. Anything to help.
No,
I
it's
am
not
sorry
for
to have
now.
been the bearer of bad.
Got some more
lessons
questions
in
about
basic
reality. Oh,
My favorite part of the day. Go ahead. Ask me anything.
you said pale. What
The
is
pale
pale?
is not, technically speaking, part of reality.
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. We do have a case to attend to.
The lieutenant looks at
Of
his
course,
watch.
Lieutenant. Let's try something else.
I don't want to. I want to know what
I
the pale
don't
is.
think your colleague would appreciate that. He has already been so patient with this whole exercise. Let's continue with something else. All right?
You could sneak back later. When the
Okay, we'll try
lieutenant
that
is
again.
not here. Unless you can convince him to step aside.
What's
6 kilometers southwest in the Valley of Dogs. Junior Officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid black dog licking its wounds in the grass. To his left, his partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, "You heard what happened to Tequila Sunset?"
ha?
Martinez. "Yes, he lost his mind," Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. "Don't worry, Emil." He pulls it out slowly. Slowly now. He'll find it again. We always do.
What am I?
You? You're an officer of the RCM.
She says energetically. The Revachol Shensen's Melissa.
Preciso Mundo.
Good. And what is the RCM?
Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, Detective.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
The lieutenant steps in to make a gesture encompassing you
He's
both.
being sarcastic.
Are we?
We are.
You said de facto?
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to its chagrin.
What do you mean?
The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer, and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a, let's be honest, laissez-faire stasis to the benefit of foreign capital.
All 3 are good to know when we are out policing.
Lieutenant looks up from his notes. So basically, I'm a lackey of the capital. So basically, I'm a thrall to foreign interests. So basically, I'm one of the good guys. So I'm basically going to avoid this subject and ask the next question in this line of inquiry. So I'm basically a thrall to. So I'm basically one of the good
There's
guys.
nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way our seemingly permanent provisional rulers like it.
She leans in.
Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. Let me tell you, dear, they are not fans of you.
Why?
The post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. Gang warfare, a botched privatization scheme, a nuclear pile meltdown. They called it the international zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM restored peace where the coalition failed. A true blue citizens' initiative. They will never forgive you.
She
That's somewhat of an
smiles.
exaggeration. In reality, ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement. Revacholians get to keep the peace in Revachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it. Anyway, sorry to intrude. Please.
Yes, Lieutenant.
Oh,
Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police. The only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol.
thank you, ma'am.
And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I'm here to help.
She bows and smiles. What was the RCM?
More nor-
Yes,
He's being
Oh, you said de
Yes.
facto?
That
That's it for the
permit
who I
me
am
to
part.
conclude with, and if those
sorry, didn't mean to do that
authorities
again.
drink so hard they
That's
glad
all
to
for
have
now.
been of assistance.
Show her
Little
your
that I know.
badge. I found my badge, by the
Oh,
way.
love, you did.
She inspects the the piece of blue plastic, her eyes scanning from left to right.
fast, observantly, like an electronic printer.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Frater Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious. What What can I help you with, Lieutenant Tiafreta?
Oh, that's all for now. Actually, let's talk about
Of
Linton.
course. Anything
No,
to-
actually, yeah, because
I
we
am
got
sorry
all
to
of
have
it
been
from
the bearer
her.
of bad news. If there is anything else I can
let's
help,
talk about-
what we
There was a touch.
the pie, and that is
The Wild Pines group. She
Okay,
nods.
got it. Yeah, no, that's it. The only thing we can do is we can come back and ask about the Pale if we don't have Kim with us. All right, then what's next? Yeah, well, okay, I guess everything that we want to go do is over on the coast, but yeah, let's go talk to the Everett boys, or not the Everett boys, the Hardy boys, and also go investigate this this soup. And then yeah, I think I'm gonna finally do. We've got enough info that I think talking to the Hardy boys is the right decision, the right solution. And then I might get some money and go buy some books. Okay, let's save here.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Leo said you're friends with Banyana. Is that
The
true?
mention of Manana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. Then he falls silent again.
What is in that borscht you're making?
The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his and then seems to wait for you to speak. I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
Mercury rising. Run your fingers through your hair.
Horse need more vodka?
He picks up a bottle from the shelf.
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Of course, vodka. Now that makes a very, very special borscht indeed. Turn it up and then ask for some yourself. Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
Turn it up.
He smiles, nodding vigorously, then pours half a bottle of vodka into the pot. With a whistle, he stirs the brew.
Can I have some of
He
that brew?
smiles and nods enthusiastically, and, chattering away in his language, ladles some brew into a small thermal cup, then hands it to you.
I don't think I need to say anything else. Stay masculine. Okay, +1 physique, -1 morale. A thermal cup filled with hot borscht spiked with some high-proof moonshine. Yeah. Okay, yeah, now it is talk to these guys. I'm gonna drink some of their borscht beforehand. I think that's the right thing to do. I'm gonna do that, and then I want to change what I'm wearing. Slightly, yeah, it's flexing. I want to put the armor on. I think that's all good. The glasses, yeah, it's fine. The savoir-faire. Sorry, the savoir-faire isn't gonna do me much here. I actually want to get. I kind of wanted to do it where we can. I part of me really wants to see if I can do this where I shoot myself. Let's see.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Are you Lizzie Elizabeth, Miss
I
Buford?
suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
She points to the tall man by the
Even
table.
though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes, in the way she stands, in her face. You caught her off guard. Push her some more.
Hardy, not yet. I had another question. Easy. Leo told me about you. He likes to talk a
You
lot.
are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men.
You set the pace and the topic of these conversations here. Establish that.
He said Mr. Everett sent you to
I
law school?
represent the union and these men here. Don't make this personal.
A very minor victory.
Hehe, let's talk later. Okay. Is the window gonna tell me to
Again.
fuck off again? It is, wow, okay. Let's do it.
This is where you say your bed.
Ah, a broad-shouldered man points at you with a beer can.
Detective.
Lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you. Don't say anything yet. First, we need to talk about your attitude. We need to talk about the man hanged out back. What is the... I kind of want to just be straightforward, because if I feel like if I just go silent, they're all going to fucking make fun of me. We need to talk about the man hanged out back.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that one.
He's not there anymore.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real ripe and pretty for you.
His name is Shanky. He looks to Titus for approval.
Was a real pretty boy. Hanging up there, letting out that pretty boy smell.
Nice.
I can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would have just left him up there. You must really like cleaning up other people's shit.
He spreads his
You
arms.
might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match.
Scan the room.
Starting from the right, boot size 44, blonde man in his 30s, overbearingly masculine.
Overbearingly.
Sitting on his right, standard working boots, size 45 or 46, eldest in the room, probably mid-50s, smoker, quiet, across
All right.
at the other table, hobnailed working boots, size
Interesting
43,
way to do this
gang
going
tattoos,
across.
Mesk or Sarah Mauritian in his late 30s, early
Really
40s.
interesting portrait.
He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock Quarter. There were incarcerations, hard to say what else. The ink is fading. And then, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 46, the big dick, wide at the
The
shoulders
big,
and lean
long
at
Dick
the hips.
Johnson.
Rugby cap, fingerless gloves, and numerous scars, a little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain, in the far corner. Standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum on
Where?
his neck? Forget it. It's not important. Let's call this one the musician.
Little guy?
Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man.
Yeah, the
with a
dishonored
red
employee,
face,
the dishonored
near,
NPC.
Watery eyes and two front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46. Deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He alone is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
One of them is absent, the odd soul.
Exactly. The missing lady driver who was running the drug trade. Does it mean the Hardy Boys are involved in the drug trade as well?
These bandits, definitely. The entire union might be involved. Maybe even all of Martinez look around suspiciously. Not necessarily the lady driver could have kept the drug trade secret. This would fit what Joyce told us, but I don't want to make any assumptions. Yeah, actually, I like
Maybe.
that.
But hey, you've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Now is a good time to hit them with questions. Where's the
Where's the
eighth
eighth
Hardy?
Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella?
Found 8 sets of footprints, but there's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardy Boy?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy. There's 7 of us, and we're all here.
He sizes you
Or
up.
what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy? We ain't hiring.
Shakes his
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
head.
She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl. Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener?
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. In.
He points at the lieutenant.
You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head.
Huh.
I'm watching you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
Lieutenant adjusts his
There's no
spectacles.
point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
The man hanging in the backyard.
The
You do
pretty
it?
boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
He takes a sip from his can.
But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
The lieutenant says without a smile. We've spoken to the head of the union. Why there's a head... Yeah. Why are you... Well, I've spoken to the dead man in a bizarre occult vision. We spoke to the head of the union.
Evrard.
Yes,
And what
him.
did he tell you? That we killed him? That we took a cargo belt from the harbor, went out back, and used it to hang him?
His eyes
Because
narrow.
we did. All of us together. I hope he told the story straight. I hope he told it well.
Ah, so you just confessed to murder?
Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
You murdered him just like that, no remorse. How does the bullet into his head factor in all of this? Actually, you murdered him like
How
that, no
many
remorse?
people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment.
Oh,
in
thank you,
Russia
Encyclopedia.
Under the coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used
I'm
to
gonna
be the
find
final
out if I'm homosexual when we get done with this conversation because of the thought cabinet unlock.
Or send them to reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
And reunion,
The
what's
River
that?
Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown.
Yes, but these were all bad people, criminals, the scum of the earth. Look, I'm just doing my job, that's all. What we do is different. We enforce the law. You just kill people like it's nothing. Honestly, I drink so much I can't really remember anyone I've sent behind bars. You know, we
But
we
you
enforce the
see,
law.
A lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man had to die.
Who called the shots
Are
that
you
night?
deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy boy without arresting all Hardy boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A shadow of a smirk passes her lips as she tilts
A
her
trick
head.
question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
No, but seriously, who calls the shots around here?
Who do you fucking think does?
He sounds more amused than angry. Point at Titus. You do, you give the commands. Point to Elizabeth. I thought she did. Point at Fat Angus. The biggest animal dominates the herd. I'm guessing it's the big one. Bow to the bearded man. Gangs are usually run by the oldest, most venerable member. Point at the harbor. Everett Carolyn's the union. You answered him, right? The 8th Hardy boy, the one who's missing, the big day.
Titus, no one was thinking.
A moment of silence. The long hair one
That
breaks
there's
it.
any question who's the leader. That's how he would have ended it. Titus won't let him.
No. Fuck no. The big dick is right here, asshole.
Oh my god.
Right. Fucking.
Grabs his dick. Harry just has the line, the big dick reverberating his head until your homosexual underground unlocks.
Disregard the outburst, officer. None of the boys have any comment on their power relations. That night, they acted as one. That's all.
When did this hanging
You
incident
don't
occur?
have to keep answering his questions.
The fixer turns to remind
I know,
Titus.
Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
How long have you known the victim?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah. Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
Titus gives Glenn a
By
stern look.
the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier, the representative for White Pines? The same company you are striking against?
Lieutenant pretends to check his
No.
notes.
I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what?
He rubs his chin, pretending to mull it over.
Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Okay, we're gonna do how and then the bullet.
We hanged him up by his neck until he got.
I'm not sure she'll actually cut me off.
Wasn't that obvious, Copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
You're pretty sure you've had at least 2 years of cop school and many more of active service. Certainly enough to not put up with his backsass. Deliver a knockdown observation.
Now, you listen to me, Sonny Jim. The autopsy showed the victim's hands weren't tied. No signs of struggle. Explain this and make it real simple.
Look, I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you, Capo. I'll say it again. We killed him.
He looks even more irritated than before.
I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clapped him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
The tattooed one speaks up, banging on his
That's
chest.
right, lawman. And then we hanged the fuck.
Mr. Tats, what did you use to knock the victim
My
out?
fucking elbow, Copper. Samaran boxing style.
Where did all this
Right
action take
fucking
place?
Here. The fucker started coming to our bar, asking for it.
Things aren't quite right here, are they?
Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. But
First, tell me who's solid.
Elaine, who looks like he might be Titus's right-hand man, the least antsy of the bunch. Definitely not his first time being questioned by the police. This little rat-faced fellow is solid, too. Always fidgety, yes, but no change there. Him neither. Mostly keeps to his tomato juice, or whatever he's got there.
Who's cracking under pressure? This one, he's sweating profusely and has difficulty breathing. They've smartly kept him out of the conversation thus far. Definitely the weakest link in the
A
chain.
single sentence would wear him out. He can't take the length of the questioning. Keep it going long enough, and he'll crack.
Hey, you, turn to the big guy. You having trouble breathing over there?
No.
He looks up, startled, his forehead shiny from sweat. A few coiled locks are peeking out from under his warm woolen
Of
hat.
course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fucking fat he is.
The man next to the big guy starts bursting out
Fuck
laughing.
off, Shanky. Angus is a powerful guy. All muscle.
Big boss steps
Keep
in.
your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of toy.
There's something you're not
And
telling
fuck
me.
you, too, Copper. Picking on Angus like this. We're done with this schoolyard shit. And just so you know, he doesn't have trouble breathing.
This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder. Not yet.
Right, I have other questions with
Like
lynching.
what, Copper?
Okay, I want to see if I can get time. Okay, why did you kill him?
'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
So he was a mercenary, that's it?
He stepped out alive.
He repeats, jaw clamped shut like a vice.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Seminine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
The man spreads out his
I
arms.
can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Times. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
Hold on, how do you even know he was in Special
'Cause
Forces?
one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm RNE's goddamn special forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNE's paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either. But he fucking did. Right there. Like some kind of animal.
This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
All right, but what did he actually do wrong? Okay, besides crimes against karaoke, what did he actually do wrong?
He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
He wiped spittle from his
From
mouth.
rape to harassment to threats of violence.
Yeah.
Why the strange de-escalation?
To kill us all if we don't open the gates. If we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
He cracks his
He
knuckles.
said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
Lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of
Yeah.
information.
This girl's on the mic, a beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming, "Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt?" Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle, doesn't even fall down.
He shakes his head in disbelief. Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted, raped,
Aren't
he said?
you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
He repeats like
Seems
a parrot.
like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation.
Yeah, seriously.
Make them talk about it.
Right, then who did he rape then? This is a very
No.
serious allegation.
You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
There's a moment of
Despite the
silence.
stonewalling, you can slip one more question in.
I'm going to ask one more time. Who did the dead man rape?
Titus, do not answer. You have been forthcoming enough.
Fuck off, Carl. She's gone through enough without you harassing her, too. She doesn't need more embarrassment.
What are you talking about? Embarrassment. If someone has been sexually assaulted, we need to...
What you need is to get the fuck out of my face. I've had enough.
Oh, I hope this doesn't mean I can't say the last question.
He's dead. It's done.
You hear the aluminum crack in his palm as he
As
squeezes the
you
beer
can
can.
see, these men can only take so much baseless scrutiny. I'm doing my best to keep the situation civil, but
What follows is a slow
It
head
won't
shake.
be for long, she means.
Okay. How does the bullet in his head factor into this? A sip of beer makes the surprise go down easier.
There was a bullet in the dead man's brain. Why was it there if you hanged him?
The lieutenant checks his
How the
notes.
fuck do I know? Anyone could have shot him. Target practice, maybe.
Another sip. He's tight-lit suddenly.
this line of questioning is over. You got the cause of death already? Hanging. If there's any post-mortem trauma, it's your problem. This will not turn into a cross-examination.
Why don't I just arrest you?
Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance over you.
Not in the arresting mood?
His mean little eyes come alive
A
with hatred.
fearful readiness, like an electrical charge, raises hairs in the room. By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer. Easy. Walk back from the provocation. They're armed, and they
Yeah, we
outnumber
died to
us.
this, I think.
The lieutenant tries to establish eye contact with you.
Easy now, let's just talk.
Wise move. You made the right choice there. Now make another one and get the fuck out of our booth. We're not gonna do this again.
So what are you gonna do now?
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus.
Lieutenant
Done
closes
this
his
job
book.
for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility, we're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
I told you already. I talked to Everett. He said you'd cooperate.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it, lawman?
He
And what's
spits.
gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us?
Very mature guys. Everett sent word, right?
Yeah, I heard him. The fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word. Let me state this very clearly, capo. Officer, I'm Titus Hardy.
Oh my
and
God.
These are my boys. Hardy boys. How may we assist you?
Explosive laughter follows. To his men, Titus Hardy is a golden god. They want to laugh at his jokes even before they leave his lips. This guy is a born leader. But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
Watch out for the hanging again.
Just get the dead guy's autograph, since you're his biggest fan.
Okay,
Good
no
one,
more questions.
Titus.
No more
About
questions.
fucking time.
You still haven't explained the bullet I found in
You
his head.
still on about that bullet? A bullet in a hangman's head. You're right, Copper. That is mighty curious.
Indeed, mighty. How did it get there?
Lieutenant's victim,
Well,
Titus.
There are so many bullets in the world, and so many heads.
It gives you an indulgent look.
I guess it's only logical. At some point, one of them bullets had to end up in one of them heads.
It's bound to happen again, you know? Just statistically speaking, of course.
I'm gonna ask you again. Why was this showed in the bullet in the victim's head?
Wow. He's got it in a real evidence bag and all.
The little man leans in to
Why
inspect the
don't
lead
you
and
go
blossom.
home and log it into evidence? These men have told you what happened.
I think the hanging was a cover
You
up
know
for the
what
shooting.
I think he was shot in the head as a kid, and his brain grew around the bullet.
Around the bullet, man. That's a good one.
Did you guys shoot him?
Shit! I probably did shoot him. I was drunk last night. You guys know me when I'm drunk.
Yeah, Glenn likes to shoot his guns when he's drunk.
the
Better hope he stays sober.
little guy
No,
looks you
he
in the
meant
eye.
before he was hanged. Did you shoot him before you hanged him?
Before? After? During? This is getting ridiculous. They told you what happened. Stop wasting your time.
Okay, Elizabeth, you're getting kind of on my nerves. Okay, but don't worry, we'll figure
Never
this sooner or
been
later.
worried in my life, lawman.
Crosses his hairy arms, having forgotten his
It's
beer
not
for a
like he
moment.
blew it wide open, but there's a little crack in there somewhere.
I found someone who was hanging. A
A
witness.
witness? You ain't got shit. The locals would never come to you with this.
A tall man crosses his
That's
arms
just
on his
cop
chest.
taxis, Titus. Next, he's gonna tell you one of us already roll on the others, and he's in witness protection.
Witness isn't a local.
Well, let's hear it then. Who is your mystery fella?
Scratches the back of
He's
his
not
head.
alarmed by the sudden appearance of a witness, but he is surprised.
Who he is
It's
irrelevant.
like you said, Al. Copper's coming up with this on the spot. There is no witness.
I've seen this shit a million times, Titus. Fly fishing. They are desperate. Tell us, Copper, what wacky claims did he make?
The witness said it was the end is here, the great undoing. We will all be vapor. The witness said the lynching went down very quietly, no shouting, no commotion.
It's you assholes that feel the need to go around like a fucking brass band. The Hardy Boys are dead silent.
Yeah, it's like they put cowbells on you before they send you to the streets. What's with the cowbells, policeman?
They're avoiding having to answer this question.
I imagine you guys drinking and singing lynching songs to the
We
funeral
were
silence.
drinking. Weren't we, guys? I hit the bottle hard. I was drunk as fuck.
He looks
Right,
around.
I'm convinced, Glenn. Nothing off here. Just a regular hanging.
But the witness said he saw two people of Areopagite descent and one mess.
Arabagite? Boss, I think he's trying to say me and Theo.
Well, yeah. What is confusing you? Eugene, Theo, and Elaine were there, too. I already told you. We were all there.
The witness said it looked like a surreal
That
play.
means absolutely nothing to me.
Ha.
Sounds like some made-up horse shit.
It means the whole scene was long and drawn out, like it was from a film.
What is this fella's problem? Sorry we didn't make it more action-packed. It wasn't the first thing on our minds, you see?
Shanky. It's Shanky, right? I thought there's something wrong about the lynching story. Now I know there was.
You don't know shit.
I know you are lying, Shanky.
He writes in his notebook. The witness says the end is here, the great undoing. We'll be all in vapor.
Huh? Well, that checks out at least.
For the record, which I have to type up later tonight, no apocalypse-related testimony was provided to us by the witness.
Check out the stand-up comedians the RCM has. When are we gonna get funny men like that?
Actually, nothing.
Great witness.
He must be really parched because he takes a giant gulp of beer.
Maybe it doesn't feel like this did anything to them. but they have to be fretting a little. Everyone is afraid of witnesses. Witness is a scary word. So much bluster to hide the fact that they're uncomfortable with you having this info.
Guess